Hello everyone and welcome back to the Shizen Hogo-Ku Zoo here on Planet Zoo in our franchise mode. Today we're doing something a little bit different, and I say that at like the beginning of every episode, but this one truly is different because we're not just making a building, but we're making a centerpiece to our park. So we're just going to jump straight into things with just doing this build. It's going to be a shorter video, I know. I thought this was a good way just to give it a little bit of a break from the habitats and maybe figuring out where to go from here in regards to the layout of this park. Now, the Shizen Hogo-Ku Zoo is probably one of my favorite zoos, probably is my favorite zoo here on our franchise mode. But the most important reason why I've been doing a lot of these videos here in the Shizen Hogo-Ku Zoo, I haven't spent too much time on the Serengeti Zoo, and I've only done one episode on the Machu Picchu Zoo so far, which is our South America DLC pack zoo. But what I'm getting at is that the Shizen Hogo-Ku Zoo, I want this to be my first finished park. And what I mean by first finished park is like, first of all, you're always going to have to do renovations, you're going to have to fix something up. That's always going to be the case in a park or a zoo or something along the lines of that. You always have to keep upgrading things. But this has to be the first completed zoo of our franchise series. Now this is very important, and we're just going to go forward and talking about this building. Now, since it is an East Asia theme, I want to give it a nice tower, and these towers are mostly seen in Japan, where it's a very tall tower and it's got multiple roof layers to it as it goes up. It's a little bit strange. I don't really know the name of it or the concept idea. Gives it that nice historical look, and it's just the way that we kind of see East Asia in the lens of a historical context. If you're not from East Asia, this is how we usually see it. But we built this tower, and it's really just me building this tower, but I wanted to give it a purpose. Now, we had two small staff buildings back here, and I wanted to make it into a bigger one because it's right next to our food court. Now, our food court is important, and it is basically the biggest plaza that we have so far. But I want to give this zoo a centerpiece of some sort where people kind of congregate around a little bit more and do something with it. And there could be a few ideas that go into this concept. But what's going to happen is that I'm going to build this tower with probably about 4 roof layers. I didn't want to make it too big or too small to make it look a little bit weird. But I just give it some simple roof layers, kind of give it a little bit of shape here and there, and that's where we go with it. Next up, we're probably going to be renovating the gharial habitat and the tiger temple habitats to better fit the rest of our park. Now, those are older builds that I've done here. The tiger temple a little bit more recent, but it's still struggling bringing people through the education building, and education is something that we have to look forward to in our management skills in this series. So we're going to have to redo that side of the park, but we have this big empty space in the middle. And I had a feeling if we just try to fill it, we may be able to put in all the other habitats we wanted to add in very easily if we started to fill in the front of the park. That's really what we were aiming for. Now, when I thought of making this building, I really thought of like, I hate to say it, but I thought of like Japan and Epcot, where they had that nice tower, that Japanese, old East Asia Japanese look. It was just, I don't really know the right way to put it, but it was just, it's just what I thought of, and I had to make something similar to it. Now, I didn't really build off of that concept. I found other photos online, so that's what I kind of went off of. But what these towers usually are compressed of is a lot of wood designs on the outside. Now, I have to make sure that, first of all, I use plaster, but I try to use as much wood, and it has to be a darker wood, more natural color wood. So I thought that was the right way to go, just to make sure it looks pretty nice. I had to make sure it was also consistent. It was a real big struggle. But this episode isn't so much about the building itself, but so much the whole design of the park, because this is the focal point to our park. This is the Cinderella's Castle in Magic Kingdom. This is the globe at Epcot, and we just need to add that focal point, and we finally figured it out, got it in here, and it's going to look amazing. Now, let me warn you that this is not going to be a completed episode. It's a shorter episode. All we really get done is the building. But if you want to build something yourself, here you go. You can kind of reference this as well. However, we do not fix up the area around this building. Now, I do get a concept down, and I really need your help on this. And I know some of you guys like to give your feedback, and some of you guys kind of stay quiet out there, which is totally fine. I completely get it. But really, if you have any sort of idea, or even just, something small that sounds stupid, or whatever it is, please let me know, because we're going to transform this area, and I want your input on this. I end up doing this later, but we end up putting this, actually I'm not gonna spoil that yet. We're gonna wait till later, because the landscape that we end up doing with this building around it really changes the whole game plan toward the zoo, which is very important. I also want to close off the circle to our zoo. And what do I mean by that? Well, we do have all these habitats here, and a lot of the paths don't really have too much of a purpose. So I'm trying to close that main pathway circle that we have, and then we can kind of extend our habitats out beyond that reach a little bit. So it has a little bit more of organization to it, and it makes a little bit more sense. So we're starting to close off that inner circle where a lot of people kind of roam around, and then we'll have extending paths toward the outside. Now, it's very important that we do figure this out, and I think we need to expand the food court toward the front. I don't know if I should expand it up there or add another food court on the opposite side of this focal point building. By the way, which we should probably get a name of. So we should probably get a name of this building. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but let me know if you have an idea, because we can start naming buildings and doing some pretty neat stuff with this park. We are getting a lot of this big detail stuff done, where we need to start getting down the little detail in this park, which is really exciting, because if you don't have that small detail, it doesn't compress with all the big details that you add into the park. So this is exciting. Really excited about this building and the concept we're going for. We still have a lot more animals to bring in. Let me know what you guys want to see next for an animal. Whoever puts down a comment, let me know what animal you want to see next, as long as it's from East Asia. So that means like China and Japan, main countries. So let me know what you guys want to see for the next animal, and I can see if I can squeeze it in. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be doing a renovation on the Gharials or our Tiger Temple. Not quite sure yet. Not to mention, we do have our ultimate staff headquarters toward the front of our park, which isn't the most convenient when it comes to certain things, like our vet's office. We could bring this toward the center, but we really didn't. We just brought in our main staff building there, because a lot of staff will be operating around the center of the park. So therefore, we're going to keep the one toward the front operational, because that actually does extend to our giant pandas, as well as all the animals toward the front of the park, which is very important as well. We may have to kind of organize this later on down the road once we add in more habitats, so we can operationalize our park better. Now, this is where the fun stuff starts coming in. The one thing that I wanted to hold off on telling you guys was that we're actually going to build this on water. So that's the interesting thing. We're going to have a nice lake in the center where we're going to have a bunch of trees, a bunch of everything. It's going to look really cool. We have this building right on the water, so we build it up with this ancient stone, and it's just going to have to blend in with the rest of its habitat, and this whole park is becoming a habitat itself. This is very important. All I really end up doing is adding in the water. By the way, if you guys want to know of a small hack, for those of you that do play Planet Zoo, want to build a facility on top of the water, congratulations, you can. Just make sure you move that facility out of the way, add in the water after so it doesn't become obstructed. So that's what I ended up doing just now. Now please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This was a quicker video, I do apologize, but I really want to hear from you guys, because I have some general ideas, but I really want to do a little bit of a consensus for right now. So let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. This is going to be really nice after. It's going to look beautiful. I couldn't stress it enough. Subscribe, like this video if you want to help support out this channel. I would highly appreciate it. Check out our Patreon page along with our Discord, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.